Hello, my name is Samantha Gibson, and I'm an AmeriCorps Vista who works at Health Commons. Would you please introduce yourself for the recording?
Yes, my name is Yeun Hee Yang. I'm a DMP FMP track in Augsburg University.
Great. I'd like to reaffirm that you consented to the storage of this interview and the transcript at the library at Augsburg, where it will be made available to the public.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, to get us started, could you please tell me a little bit about where you grew up and who you called family?
Where I grew up? I was born and raised in South Korea, and I came to United States about 15 years ago. Family or so. My parents are still live in Korea, but once after I moved to America, I married. So I live with my husband and my 5-year-old son, and my mother-in-law and my brother-in-law.
Great, thank you. How did you end up at Augsburg?
I was looking for a nurse practitioner program, and while I'm searching program, I was very impressed about transcultural nursing here and different approach for nursing, and then being a provider such as holistic care, transculture, a lot of other wisdoms from different like such as oriental wisdoms, not just a westernized medical model. So I started a program here.
And how did you become involved with the Health Commons?
The past spring semester I took a class that is politics of healthcare, and also from the practicum hours, I picked the Health Commons because the Health Commons introduced about homeless people, so I had opportunity to meet them. And also the Health Commons have a different model of caring people, so that's why I signed up.
And how well do you think your experience at Health Commons fit with what you were learning in that course?
It's a great opportunity to actually meet a real person, like a homeless person, and engage with them, and then hear their stories and knowing about them as through real person, like a personal experience engagement rather than just reading books or watching videos. So there's a really live, really close interaction, so I wanted to know how we can help like a marginalized, such as the homeless or low income people as a nurse, how we can care them. So that actually helped me to introduce me different aspects of nursing care and a different approach to client as a nurse.
So is there something that you feel you'll take forward from this experience in your nursing practice?
I would so. I think so. Actually, the director, Katie, Clark, the actually professor, and she showed me a different model to approach the homeless people, such as not just diagnosis or giving some basic education or screening, but it's more like understanding them, being with them, how we can approach them, how we can build a trust relationship, not just giving or just treating their medical problems, but basic approaches understand them more, get to know them more, before we diagnose it, before we educate. So it really helped me understand that population, marginalized population in.
So has this experience, or how has this experience changed any biases that you may have had about people experiencing homelessness or marginally housed individuals?
Previously, I thought they are mainly just seeking resource, seeking materials, items, some free stuff. But now is more understand that they are more complex, understand about their background, how they became a homeless. There's many other different stories background. Not they are just lazy or just not a failure, but just environmental hardness or sudden losing jobs, some mental health. So each person have their stories. Became homelessness. We can't just judge they are homeless now. They are just rely on to materials, free place to sleep or free food. It's not like that. They do have their own story. So we really need to understand their story, get to know them. That helps them to moving forward. Or the Health Commons give it's more like a support system, like companionship. That's I felt like it's not more like someone is a higher, someone is just receiving or giving and receiving, not position, but it's more like a companionship, friendship. So that helped. I'm sorry, I actually forgot the questions when I'm talking. I actually want to see the questions.
Well, you talked about people's individual situations and how everyone has a unique situation. What strengths did you learn or hear from some of the people that you met?
One of the strengths, I think, their resilience. Most of them are walking and find a place to sleep, find a place to eat. They don't mind walking. One of our guests told me he does not have any high blood pressure issue because he walks a lot to find a place to go. But very cold weather. I was there through the February, March, April, so it's very cold outside. But they are well prepared, gloves, hats, and thick boots and clothing. And it's hard, but they seems to not to mind about being cold or walking outside. So this can be their strengths. How they survive with this hard environment, cold weather. And one of is actually from the outreach. Katie and I met Noah, and maybe can be changed now. But Noah, who sleeps on the street through the winter. And the first place I found him, actually, he slept underneath of the hotel building, but it's the back of the hotel in the parking lot. But he just slept. He put a tent underneath about the heat vent. So the heat is constantly blowing out from the building. So it's actually the spot he found was very warm through the entire 24 hours. So there is a smart. He found a really good spot to survive the cold winter night. So that is another strength.
So you also talked about how Health Commons has a sense of companionship or friendship. Mm-hmm. It's sort of a supportive environment. Mm-hmm. How would you suggest we can better accompany people on their journey of health? So whether that be by attitude or, for example, having longer hours or adding more outreach services.
Right. I wish I do know about original setting in the church rather than trailer, because I can compare how large space actually we had in the church Health Commons before. But inside the trailer Health Commons, it had about, I would say, maybe 45 chairs. And it's the first day when I went there, I met one guest. He's asking about eye drops, but I couldn't find it because it's my first day. So I asked him, come inside and then sit while I'm finding items. So he came in, was sat in the chair while I'm finding stuff. So while he was sitting, I'm able to start talking. So I see that many guests just stop by, just standing in front of the door, asking some items. Some volunteers, they hand out items, they walk away. But if we ask them to come in and have a seat while we are finding items, then we can kind of host more, and they welcome more, not just standing, just kind of getting items, just ask them seat and then maybe coffee or something to drink. And then we can talk to more. So I actually had two guests. I asked each guest actually come inside, has comment, ask them sit. That kind of the start point. I'm able to talk longer conversation, and then both of them looked very welcomed if I asked them to have a come and sit. So I would suggest a little bit larger area and then more chairs. And then if the volunteers kind of not just handing to the items, ask them to come on in, have a seat. It's maybe not necessarily talk too long kind of time period, but at least just they are welcomed, have a seat, something like that.
So you mentioned moving back into a more permanent space. Do you have any other hopes for that space?
Other hope. I think I heard they have a food care before they move to trailer. I think it's also this really good continuing service, food care, and some lobby or some place kind of sit and talk together. And if we can organize more items, maybe easy to find something to hand it to them, that will help.
So you said kind of the organization of the items, right? Make it a little easier.
Items. It's not necessarily kind of making a note how many items to give. Oh, actually, that was a little bit confused how many items I can give. Diaper, I understand, 10. But socks, 1 pair. But the other items, underwears and creams, lotion. I kind of, I'm not sure how many I can give, but I understand the beginning. Katie explained is all free stuff. There's no judgment, no restriction. We can give how many they want to give. But if we kind of organize a little bit, a bit quicker to help them to find some stuff. But actually, it's disorganized, so it helps me to ask a guest to sit and find it. So I think either way is fine. But if it's more organized, labeled items, maybe they helps more good flow.
Were there other things that could have been easier or better for the volunteer experience? Was scheduling easy?
Scheduling was easy because I'm able to go to calendar and then make a schedule. That was easy. Parking was hard to find it, but it's during the construction. I actually recommend if someone volunteer maybe at least 2 times a visit, that helps. It really helps. The first time is kind of exploring what this place, and then second time get to know more about other volunteers and guests, and then really be comfortable, engage more, and also a little bit longer hours also will help. If you really want to talk to the person, homeless people, homeless people. Yeah, if you want to talk or having a conversation, maybe long hours will help too.
So you said that you were at Health Commons for a few months, right?
At least 5 or 6 times through the
during those months.
During the months.
So did you do that just for your practicum hours, or did you choose to come back more than was required?
I did mainly for practicum hours. I willing to come back once we moved back to the church, kind of knowing about more space and also spend more time to understanding them. And yes.
What do you think you gained being there over a longer period of time that someone who only comes once might not realize or might not have had the opportunity to do?
I do have more, I've seen more other volunteers, what they are doing, and also I kind of understand Katie's role also, not just handing out some items, but outreach also, and then also dynamics if one concern arose, such as Noah's case, kind of some questions or problems arose, how we can solve problems together, such as other volunteers also understand about what's going on, some particular guest, what is the particular concern, so we can gathering together talk more. So I kind of understand the more other issues, not just seeing guests one time, just giving some items. So I would see more dynamics if you come more and the more broad the role about the health commons.
How might your experience apply to another type of work setting, a hospital setting, or wherever else you work?
As I'm working in primary care setting right now as a triad nurse, then the back to the beginning about each one has story background that really helps me not kind of judging client or patient with what they are now. So, and they're also trying to understand more, and also the future practice, how we can open the door to the community, how we can combine with the community, not just like a current model about provider and patient, how we can more engaging with community. Maybe start is maybe small, maybe food care, the beginning, but it's probably in the future have a more care added outreach, mental health, the other resource connection. So it's hard to see right now, but it's a beginning with the cool concept, the Health Commons, about building relationship, building trust relationship, companionship, friendship, that I can apply any other my practice in the future, because those concepts we are missing. We can't apply with the current medical system. Very busy, and then we have to make out money, profit, everything is we have to do it. But this is a totally different concept. But we can apply in any community, any care setting, any population, starting this basic concept, hospitalization, building trust relationships. So I think I can apply many other practice in the future.
You talked a little bit about some of the people that you interacted with, but is there a specific story that you could share from your experience at Health Commons that really stuck with you?
So maybe two things come in mind. First one is I already introduced kind of how I can start talking with one of the homeless people. Then once they are really, the two person I engaged, they like to talk. They want to talk, not just well, I have to writing a paper with this practicum, but I tried not too much interviewing someone, but just being with them, just sit next by, just talking about their life, their family, what they like to eat, and then what is the future. Even people think they maybe don't have a future, but I found that someone had still working three different jobs and have hope about the future, kind of building real relationship with family or go back to family. So just being with them, present, and then just to sit next by and then talk to them, sharing about time, just giving time is really precious. Hopefully, each one has their life journey. I have my life journey. The homeless person have his own life journey. But we met one moment and then sharing their journey and get close. I only have just one experience, one time talking, but I do see Katie actually build up more relationship, longer relationship. That really helps someone's life, and I wish I could do that. But there is two moments I sat about over 30 minutes and then talking about each one's life, then really stuck me. I had really great experience at that time.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Anything we didn't ask about?
I would say every volunteers there have a really same kind of mind, the same attitude. I'm surprised. Each one is very open and very supportive. It's really non-judgmental, and just everyone I met there is, even though all different background, they are the same goal. Kind of, we are here to not just to serve you, we are here to be with you. So that is, I'm really surprised. And then I really enjoyed actually talking with other volunteers too, not just guests. Guests, I really enjoyed the time together. So it's a really good place to kind of the meeting, not for the guests, but other volunteers and their experience of what their heart is. So
great. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you.